If your retirement plan is basically a pension, Social Security, and then some accounts in the market, I get why that might feel shaky. But not because you did anything wrong. It's because retirement magnifies the impact of taxes, market downturns, and healthcare costs. And when you're retired, there's no do-over. You don't get to just work a few more years to fix a bad stretch. Whole life insurance can be seen as something that only matters after you die. But in addition to that guaranteed death benefit, whole life insurance can be a versatile financial product that provides unique benefits which are very different from other financial instruments. In fact, used correctly, it can help strengthen your plan while you're alive in 3 practical ways: tax flexibility, income stability, and then help for extended care needs. First, a quick note on the death benefit. Yes, the death benefit is there for the people you care about, the organizations you care about, and it's the primary reason to purchase life insurance. And I don't want to downplay that. But it can also help you make better decisions now. It can help reduce that fear of, I can't spend this because what if I need it later? So you're not building your whole retirement around worst case scenarios. Hi, I'm April Schoen, and I'm a retirement planner, and I see this all the time that people underspend in retirement, so they're not living up to their full spending potential. Why? The biggest reason is because of what if money, right? What if the market drops? What if I live longer than expected? What if healthcare costs explode? What if taxes go up in the future? What if I need care? What if my spouse needs care? What if we spend too much too early in our retirement, right? All this what if money. Here's the thing, you can care about protecting the future without sacrificing today. There is a way to do both. Here are 3 ways whole life can help you beyond the death benefit: tax flexibility, income stability, and then support for extended care costs. We're going to start with tax flexibility because in retirement, it's not just how much do I have, it's how it's taxed when you use it. A lot of people do a great job saving, but most of that might end up in a pre-tax retirement account like an IRA or a 401k. And then by the time you add in Social Security, a pension if you have one, a big chunk of your retirement income might be taxable. Withdrawals from IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, deferred comp, they're all generally taxed at ordinary income, which can push you into higher tax brackets and even impact things like Medicare premiums. I had a client with a large IRA balance, and on paper, they were doing great. But when we mapped out their retirement, we realized they were heading into a future where almost everything that they were going to live on would be taxable income. So we restructured to create more balance across taxable, tax-advantaged, and then partially taxable accounts. So now they have more control over where their income is going to come from year over year, instead of just being stuck pulling from one taxable source. And, if you're thinking, okay, April, but I should have done this years ago, keep watching because I'm going to talk about that in just a few minutes. We've had a strong market in the most recent years, and that's great, but we all know it's not going to last forever. And the retirement problem isn't that the market goes down. It's that you can be forced to pull money out when the account is down, thereby locking in your losses. That's when a rough market can do real damage. So you need a place that you can pull money from without selling your investments in a down market. I call this a liquidity bucket. This is not dead money. This is not just a savings account. This is a bucket designed to be available when you need it, and it's designed to be more productive than cash sitting on the sidelines. And here's a benefit that most people don't expect: that a properly designed policy can provide you the permission to leave your market-based accounts alone during a downturn so they have time to recover. You know, if we live long enough, the odds are that care is going to become part of our conversation. And one of the biggest planning gaps I see is that people either avoid talking about it or they think we'll figure it out later without realizing the financial and emotional costs. I have a client right now who's dealing with Parkinson's, and they've reached a point where independent living isn't really realistic anymore. Assisted living's on the table, and those monthly costs add up fast. Some whole life insurance policies have optional features that may allow you to access benefits while living, which can help with costs related to care. That could be care at home or in a facility. Now, at this point, people usually say one of two things. Hey, this sounds good, but it's expensive. And you know what? It can be. If it's an oversized policy that's poorly designed and doesn't fit your goals, then it's the wrong solution. But when it's designed correctly, you're not just paying for a death benefit, although that's important. You're working on building more flexibility around taxes, a potential buffer for down markets, and a plan for these different life stage risks that we have as we get older, all while keeping the death benefit as a core asset of your plan. You may be thinking, hey, this sounds good, but it's too late for me. And that's not necessarily true either. This depends on your goals, your cash flow, age, health, what else you have in your plan. Sometimes people assume it's too late for me or I'm too old to implement this plan, when really what they need is a version of the strategy that just fits their situation. If you're curious and you want to know more about these strategies, join my upcoming webinar on February 25th. The link to sign up for events is in the description box. Or if you're thinking, hey, I'd like some help with these strategies, then I would suggest that you schedule a retirement focus session. To do that, you're going to request our retirement intake form. It's a super quick form, takes a few minutes to complete, gives us a little information about where you are today on your retirement journey, what kind of questions you're asking, and what sort of support that you need. Then we're going to match you with the advisor that's going to be best for you. Could be me, could be someone on my team. We have a team of over 150 advisors across 5 states in the Southeast. However, we work with clients across most of the United States. A link to request the intake form can be found in the description box. One quick note is that policy design and results depend on factors like age, health, how the policy is structured. Dividends are not guaranteed, and optional benefits are subject to eligibility and policy terms. That's why this should be evaluated with a professional that's trained in this type of planning. Be sure to subscribe if you would like more retirement planning content that's practical and simple. See you next time. Bye now.